Let's see. All right, let me see. Are we live? Yes. Okay. Cute. Let's see. I want to make sure the audio is good. How can I test my audio? Let's see. I want to see if it is. Let's see. Oh, looky, looky, looky. Okay. Yay. All right. Yay. Okay. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, everybody. As you know, I'm the talent and I'm the producer, honey, and I'm craft services and I'm hair and I'm makeup. So welcome. I want the show to be a space where you can come and talk to me and I can talk to you about all things homeschool. A little bit about me. My name is Miss Cotton, and I'm all about social justice and education. So if you know me, you know that. But something that you may not know is that I've started to homeschool my daughter, and I am really enjoying it. So I want to just take that joy and spread it, and voila, wouldn't you know it, there's just a ton of other homeschoolers. So, as it is, as one does, when you go down the rabbit hole, you find out that there are so many different circumstances for why people are homeschooling and how people homeschool. So, my biggest thing was I do feel that everyone needs a little bit of a homeschool homegirl that does have not just experience, because you have a lot of quote unquote homeschool gurus who will tell you that they have that education, that background, and they'll kind of just encourage you to have basically school at home. But I think the really nice thing is that you do have a large group of people who understand it doesn't necessarily matter whether or not you have the teaching background, but that the homeschool itself is the movement and that it is the safest thing that we can be doing for our children. It is. It's the biggest thing that we can do with our kids from the heart. And then the other thing I discovered is that it's kind of some people kind of see it as a luxury. You know, they can't homeschool. They have to have childcare. They have to have money. Both parents have to work, or there isn't two parents in the household. Whatever the situation is, it's easier or more affordable or just more feasible for them to send their kids off to school. So, all of that to say, I wanted to create my own space where I could, number one, encourage all parents or caregivers of small children to homeschool, no matter what the situation was, especially if you are Black or brown. It is a state of emergency. So I want to be everyone's homeschool homegirl, but I definitely want to reach out to those families who feel like it's not accessible for them. They can't afford it. They don't have the time. So I have my eye on instructional materials. That's what I've been working with really and truly for the past 10 years, on a national level, if you will. I supported a publisher and sold textbooks. So I have my eye on instructional materials in ways that we can recreate those instructional materials, high quality materials, but have them truly be student centered, and not just student centered, but personalized for our kiddos, which is reason number 26 why you should be homeschooling, because you can personalize their learning. You can step away from the one size fits all, and you can truly personalize learning. But I wanted to create a space where we could share ideas and we can talk about how you can make it work, how anyone can be their child's teacher. You're already doing it, whether you know it or not. I want to be able to motivate other teachers. I want to be able to share ideas and pass along instructional materials that I know work. So anything that you see on whatever channel you're watching this on. If you're watching it on YouTube, if you're coming to the Whatnot shop and you're supporting the Miss Cotton community, everything you see will be something that I actually use with my daughter or something that I have used. So I try to show you something that you can buy commercially, and I also want to show you how you could recreate it at home. We used to call it teaching cheap. All teachers know they don't give you much to work with. Sometimes you have to make that dollar stretch, and just it's just a really nice way to use your creativity anyway. Um, and just make it work. So today, the premiere episode, and what we have in the store now is this lovely tool here. So let me see if I don't know, how can I get it in frame? Let me make sure I have good. I hope my audio is working as well. Let me see. Can you see it now? Okay, I think this is good, like this. So what this is, let me just show you so I can cite my sources. So what this was created by Lakeshore, and they call it a daily check-in, and it is a learning tool or an instructional material. Okay, so you can check this out in the store. And we're going to be talking about this particular tool for a couple of shows. If you catch it live in the show, then you can snag this board for only $6. And here's the deal. This was created by Lakeshore, so you can pop on over to Lakeshore and check them out. But then you'll discover that you can only get these in a set of 30. What? But I do think they're worth it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I want to talk to you about how I use it with my daughter, and just share with you some ideas how you can use it. Okay, for your children. If you don't have any children, your nieces and nephews. If you don't have any nieces and nephews, honey, the children that you're friendly with on the block, everybody knows somebody that has a child. And the big deal about social emotional learning, which is really kind of where I would categorize this tool, is that it is important. So let's talk about who this is for. All right, so not just for homeschooling, but for all children. Social emotional learning is nothing to be afraid of. I know that we have had a little bit of fear, if you will, about social emotional learning, but it's nothing to be afraid of, especially for the littles. They really, really need it. So what I like about this is that it does kind of check a few boxes, and a few of the boxes are different age groups. So you can use this. I would say this would be good as early as 4. You're going to have to really model for a little, but you can also use this all the way up into about 4th or 5th grade. So it's a daily check-in, and it's nice and durable. So the idea is that it's right on and wipe off. And so the first thing you're going to do, especially with your littles, is just talk about the different emotions that they may be experiencing for the first time. So it isn't about teaching them something that they're not already experiencing. It's about helping them express themselves. They don't have the language. They wouldn't have even been able to really get mad before the age of 3. That's hunger. That's a hunger cry. That's a fear cry. But the emotion of being mad, that's something that develops right around 3 or 4. And they don't have words for that. They don't have words to tell you, you know what, right now I'm just a little annoyed or I'm bored. So the really nice thing about this, and if you pop into the store, you'll see that it does come with the instructions, but we're going to talk about even more ways that you can use it. But it does give you kind of a starting point. So if this is new for you, if you're not big on social emotional learning, but you heard about it, and even if you think positive things about it or you're not thinking positive things about it, it walks you through kind of the why. So anything that you're uncomfortable with or you're not sure how to do with your little kiddo, it'll walk you through how to introduce it with them. So for example, Maybe you have a child with special needs. I do. I homeschool a child with special needs. So, what I needed to do first before we could use this tool was explain, especially the ones that are really, really close. So, like excited and happy. I really needed to have a conversation with her about kind of the nuance between the two. If you have multilingual household, right? You definitely need to talk about each and every one of these emotions and make sure they're just comfortable with the language. So, just that kind of stuff about how to get started, you can find here. So, we'll include a copy of the directions, a dry erase marker, and one of these boards. And then here's the gold mine right here. I feel this way because, oh my gosh, this is the step here. I don't think as parents we understand how stressed our kids are. They experience the same amount of stress that we do. It's just that stressors for a 5-year-old are, of course, different stressors than adults. But the big thing here is we really want not only to be able to build our kiddos up and give them the language so that they can express themselves, we always want them to reflect on the why. So I love that this gets your kiddos in the habit of understanding why. Why do you feel that way? Even if it's a good emotion, you feel silly, why? You feel happy? Why do you feel that way? You feel annoyed? Why do you feel that way? Just such a good check in. And then you can kind of see like the disguised learning where again with the little and especially with my daughter who's nonverbal, I may have to work with her and she's only 5, so she's not going to be able to write in a complete sentence, but that's okay. It's still an opportunity for me to model language, for me to model early literacy, and for me to create a sentence with her. And then of course for your older kiddos, this is language practice. This is a great way for them to write on their own. And then, but wait, there's more. At the bottom, it's going to ask, how did you sleep last night? Another often forgotten, super huge component of social emotional learning. Number one, if we don't check in with our kids and we just assume that they're going to be able to regulate their own emotions, we would be correct. Eventually, they will. They'll discover coping mechanisms, and humans are clever that way. But we can make it easier. We can help them regulate their emotions. We can help them do it in a way that's healthy for them and helpful for others. And when we want them to just be joyful children and have joy to share and have fun and play and go to school and be eager to learn, all of that stuff requires for them not to be too full. So what happens if their cup is full just like our cup is full and we don't give them that opportunity to pour it out? They're not going to be able to experience joy. They're missing out on the magic of childhood. They are frustrated. It is a little bit more difficult for them to make up with their friend in the sandbox and say, yesterday, Madison was mad at me. They don't understand. Madison wasn't really mad at you, and go and talk to Madison again. But when you check in regularly with the child, they have that opportunity to empty that cup out. You can talk to them. Why do you feel that way? Is there a way we can role play how you can talk to Madison tomorrow? Let's get the dolls. You be Madison and I'll be you. And we can talk about it. Or however it is that you would work with your little. I have a good imagination. So Madison is a make-believe child. All right. So here again, I had to make a little bit of accommodation for my little. She's of course um not only is she only 5, so you're gonna have to teach a 5-year-old how to use a ranking scale, but it's pretty straightforward. She got it right away. 1 means I did not sleep well last night, and 5 of course means I slept great. You need to know this. You need to know this as a caregiver. You need to know this as a parent. You need to know this as a teacher, because by the way, you could use these in the classroom as well. But the deal is, you need to know how a child slept. That is going to make your day go smooth, or that is going to shut your day down. So big classroom management tip. This is a secret. Please come in close. This is a secret. Please come in close. Number one, okay, give them snacks. But number two, if they are sleepy, it does not matter what you say to them. Make sure they're well rested. They need to be well rested, and give them an opportunity to nap, whether that's in the classroom or at home, because it does not matter. They're not going to be able to pay attention to any of the nursery rhymes, any of your cool jokes. They're not going to pay attention in math if they did not sleep well. All right. So I love this one. I don't want to get too much into the sleeping last night. Notice I don't need the child to go too deep into that, but I do want to keep that in mind. Yesterday they gave me a 2. The day before that it was a 1. We do kind of want to keep track, like we always do as teachers, as caregivers, as parents. Just keep track of how our children are doing over time. What is it that we can notice? But you're always sleepy, maybe on Mondays, or this week you've been very tired. Perhaps there's things going on. Of course, I use this at home in a homeschool environment, so I know what's going on. But just talking to those teachers out there, you might use this in the classroom, and I'll give you some clue about what's going on at home, and what type of conversations you might need to be having with those kiddos. Okay, so let me turn it over to the back so that you can see this. Hi, Callie. Thank you so much. Callie Elaine's Closet here on the Whatnot. Thank you for popping in. Oh my gosh, and thank you for following. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to follow you back and visit your store. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is my pilot episode. I'm practicing. So thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. Okay, so on the back, I love this part too. This is really what drew me to this board, was this image here. So what they want you to do here is pick a peaceful place activity. So they have 6 different activities, and this is just one activity, as you can see, right? So for the, hi, thank you so much. Hi, thank you for joining. Okay, let's see. Let me put this, since you're going to be in here, let me put this in here because, wait. Wait. Maybe I don't know how to do it. Hi. How do I do it? Okay, I'm going to figure it out. This is my premiere episode here. So I wanted to do it so that when you're live, you can get it for a little bit cheaper. So I'm trying to figure that out. Hold on. Let's see. If you do auction, create, import for inventory. Okay, so I must have did something wrong. Hi, thanks for joining. Hi, Mo. Hi, Wendy. Hey. Okay, I'm going to figure this out. I want to talk to you guys about the back of this, and I want to figure this out. If you're interested in this, or you're just here because you're also you're a homeschooler or an educator, or you know somebody that knows somebody. Hi, how are you? Okay, so what I love about the peaceful place activities is that the idea is that they're going to choose. So your little would choose a different activity. But this caught my eye right away. So I don't know if you've ever seen one of these, but what it does is it helps with that centric breathing. So what you'll ask your little learner to do is take their finger, and they're going to just follow those arrows. And you're going to have them slow down their breathing and just really focus on their breathing. And it's going to ask them to breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. Good. Breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. I see using this Again, in the classroom after recess to calm them down. I mean, I feel calm after just breathing, and I'm just sitting down here in my basement and I feel calm. But just that moment to teach children how to breathe. Now, and also the brain science behind it. So the what your dendrites are doing when oxygen can get rushed to your brain, all of that is just so necessary. So again, just taking that brain break. Usually I recommend getting up and dancing, getting up and playing some music, but also being able to come to your peaceful place and just breathe and teach them to slow it down, move slow, breathe in, breathe out, do that with them. And then it has other really cool suggestions. Think of a person you appreciate, be kind and help someone. Think of something you are grateful for, stretch for 5 minutes. I like that one. Close your eyes and use your other senses to take in your surroundings. What do you feel? What do you hear? And what do you smell? I love that. And it's right here. It's ready to go. It keeps it fresh for the kids because you do have the different options. And again, I love it because you can level it. So I use this with my 5-year-old. She is a star seed, a real star seed. This girl is amazing. She has special needs, but I almost sometimes I think to myself, I cannot create a lesson. First of all, that she can't absorb. She's like super bright, and so it's really just a matter of how creative I can be. It's almost like I'm limiting her. Anyway, my point is, even with her being nonverbal and her only being 5, she will take her finger. I will help her take her finger and breathe with me, and she likes doing it. She likes doing this. She walks over to this by choice. I want to use this board. So it's not just a daily check-in one time. You can use it totally as a communication board, as that cell tool, check-in tool. You can use it back and forth. So she will walk over to this and let me know, Mom, I want to use the board. I want to tell you how I feel. And she just loves that breathing exercise. Loves it. Hi, Diana. And it's easy to get them to do it. So just want to slow it down and they'll take their finger and you can do it with it. Breathe in, hold it, get ready to breathe out. Let's go again. All right, I want you to breathe in, hold it, get ready to exhale, breathe out. Take another deep breath in and breathe out. Right? Again, in my basement and I'm already chilled out. So, but it's just good for kids. It's something that's ready to go. You don't have to prepare this. I like it because it's a low maintenance tool. So if you're using it at home or even in the classroom, you already understand the importance of time and transitions and being able to use tools that are easy and quick, portable, and something that the kids like using themselves. All right. And then the last part of this is just the notes to self. So they'll pick a note, have them circle it, write it down, depending on the level, depending on the age group, or how you might want to extend this activity. And that's pretty much it. So thank you very much. Again, just in case you're watching the replay, I created this space for you, for me. So tell a friend. This is the place where you can talk about all things homeschooling. All right. So I'm going to just say this because it just feels right. So if you're looking for the homeschool homegirl, you found her. All right. And again, I do have experience in the classroom. I am homeschooling my daughter, but most importantly, this is my passion. I am all about social justice and education, and I have been doing so since 2004. So please join me on this journey. Thank you so much for stopping by the store. I hope you'll join the community. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. Bye bye. Visit my store. These are going for, this is what I wanted to tell you. You can pop into Lakeshore and buy this. I did not create this. The only problem is if you go to Lakeshore, they're going to sell you 30 of them. So you cannot buy them individually. But if you visit the Miss Cotton store, you're gonna get the experience. I'm gonna tell you all about this material and other instructional materials that I think are outstanding, high quality, that you can use at home, that you can use in the classroom. But you can pick this up for me, and if you get it from the store, I'm going to include the directions, so you'll get a set of directions and you'll get a free dry erase marker, because I really love this tool and I want to encourage you to use this tool. So visit my store. If you're watching this from YouTube, go to download the Whatnot app. If you're not on Whatnot, I'm not clear on what we're doing, but I want to introduce you to what you should be doing, going over to the Whatnot and finding the Miss Cotton store. Bye. Okay. Bye.